All right, in this explainer, we're pulling back the curtain on the digital architects who are literally building our future, the ASIC design engineers. We're going to map out their complete blueprint from start to finish.
Every time you tap your phone, every cloud search you make, it's all running on a physical foundation. In this quote, it gets right to the heart of it. It's about the people who craft the custom silicon brains that power our entire digital world.
So, let's ask the big question. Who exactly are these digital architects? Let's dive in. First up, the digital architect. We're going to break down what this role is really all about and the kind of expertise it demands.
Now, this isn't about creating some jack-of-all-trades chip. No way. An ASIC engineer is a total specialist. They design a hyper-optimized brain for one single purpose. Whether that's a new AI model or a super-fast networking switch, it's all about doing one thing and doing it absolutely perfectly. What's really fascinating here is the sheer range of skills you need. You have to be an architect, thinking about the entire system on a chip, but you also have to be a bit of a physicist, worrying about things like timing closure. We're talking about how fast electrons can literally move through silicon. It's this wild mix of the super abstract and the intensely physical. Okay, so you've got the expertise, but what's the actual journey like? Let's walk through the roadmap that an engineer follows to take an idea from a document all the way to a real, tangible piece of silicon. This is the heart and soul of ASIC design. It's a really meticulous process, starting with just an idea on paper and ending with a physical chip you can hold. And you can see how important verification is. It's this constant feedback loop. You're testing the design over and over as you get more and more detailed, from a high-level concept right down to the individual gates. Now for the core of the craft itself. RTL design. This is where engineers are literally speaking the language of hardware, writing the code that is going to become an actual physical circuit. And this is a super crucial distinction to make. RTL is not like your typical software programming, right? With something like Python, you write instructions for a processor that already exists. With a hardware language like Verilog, you are describing the physical structures themselves, the logic gates, the memory, the wires connecting it all. You're building the thing from the ground up. And this slide right here, this shows one of the trickiest concepts for anyone new to hardware. Just a tiny syntax change, a single equal sign versus the less than equal sign, completely changes the physical circuit you build. We're talking about the difference between things happening one after another versus all at the same time. If you get this wrong, you create what's called a race condition. And trust me, that is a hardware bug that is an absolute nightmare to track down. You have to understand, these aren't just, style suggestions. These are non-negotiable rules of the road. For example, avoiding accidental latch inference is about making sure the tools don't create these weird unintended memory elements that can totally break your design. Following these practices is what ensures your code can actually be turned into a functional, predictable, physical circuit. So, the code is written. Awesome. But how does that text file become a physical object? Well, this next phase is like a kind of digital alchemy. It's all about forging that final chip by turning abstract logic into silicon reality. These 3 steps are where the beautiful abstract design slams into the harsh physical realities of silicon. Synthesis translates your code into a sea of millions of logic gates. Then, static timing analysis acts like a ruthless judge, making sure every single signal can get from point A to point B fast enough. And finally, physical design is like this massive automated game of Tetris on a microscopic scale, placing and wiring all of those gates together. Here's a classic for you. An interviewer will almost certainly ask something like this because it cuts right to the heart of understanding timing. See, a hold violation means a signal is actually arriving too fast. So the answer, counterintuitively, isn't about speeding things up. It's about strategically adding tiny delay buffers into the signal's path, just to slow it down enough to meet the timing spec. Yeah, this is not a one-tool job. Not even close. Designing a modern chip requires a whole ecosystem of highly specialized and very, very expensive software. Every single stage in the flow, from simulating the first idea to verifying the final layout, has its own dedicated, incredibly powerful set of tools. So you've mastered the tools. You know the design flow inside and out. Where do you go from there? Let's take a look at the career progression, from an engineer focused on just one block to the architect who's responsible for the entire chip. The career ladder often means specializing in different areas for a while: design, verification, physical implementation. But the real climb, the big jump to a role like SoC architect, requires this fundamental shift in your thinking. You have to go from perfecting your one little piece of the puzzle to seeing how the entire system on a chip fits and works together.
And that right there is the key to advancement. It's the whole game. You have to start thinking bigger. It's no longer just, is my code correct? It becomes, how does my code affect the power, the performance, and the physical area of the entire chip? That is the architectural mindset.
And this really is the ultimate takeaway. The work an ASIC engineer does isn't temporary, like some software that gets updated next week. They are embedding the core principles, efficiency, reliability, performance, directly into silicon that's going to power our tech for years and years to come.
So there you have it, the blueprint of the digital architect. And it leaves us with one final thought. Our entire digital existence is built on the choices these engineers embed in silicon. So the real question is, what will you choose to build next?